Good morning everyone. Today we are going to do the 5 kingdom classification, that is chapter 2 from your biology book for class 7. Alright, now whenever we are talking about classification, now I will first explain this. Now if you think around you, how many kinds of organisms do you see? There are millions and millions of organisms, right? That is starting from the single cell bacteria to the very complex, let us say, elephant, which is so big, right? Or the whale that you find in the sea and ocean. And then there is the human being, which is the most complex organism of all. Why? Because we have so many organs and how they are functioning together, right? Whereas if I am taking a single cell bacteria, then we will say that it is not at all complex. It is a very simple organism which is just based on one single cell structure, right? So if I want to study each and every organism individually, it is very difficult. It is almost impossible. So to study them, what did the botanist or what did the zoologist do? The botanists are those who study plants and the zoologists are those who study animals. So they divided the organisms into groups. Okay? They divided the organisms into groups which are based on their similarities. So those which have similar characters are put into one group, right? And the other one with the who are different will be put into another group. So this way a classification came into the picture, right? So whenever I am talking about classification, what does this mean? Classification would mean the study of organisms based on their similarities and differences. Okay, so what is the classification? Classification is the process of studying the organisms based on their similarities or based on their differences. Okay, based on their similarities. Now that is classification. And what is the branch of biology that deals with the study of these organisms? So the branch of biology that deals with this classification is called taxonomy. Okay, it is called taxonomy. So what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the branch of biology which deals with the classification of organisms. Right? Now do you know what is the scientific name of human being? The scientific name of human being is Homo sapiens. Now why do you think it has been named this way? Because if you think for 2 minutes, you will realize that there may be one scientist who is speaking in Hindi, another scientist speaking in English, another one in French. So there are so many languages. So when the scientists or the researchers are doing a particular research, they need a common name, right? So certain scientific names were given to the organisms so that it is easy for the other researchers to check their work, right? So this kind of naming of organism was called nomenclature. So we come across 3 terms. The first term is classification, that is the study of organism based on their similarities and differences. Second term is taxonomy, the branch of science or the branch of biology specifically that deals with classification. And the third is the naming of organism, and that is nomenclature. Right? Now, we are going to study a little in detail so that you can understand the whole picture and it will become easier also. Now, have you ever wondered, like for example, I am talking about species. Now, what is species? For example, let us take the cats. Now the cats, they may be of different size and shape, they may be of different color, right? Some are brown, some are white, but can they reproduce among themselves? Can they interbreed? Yes, they can interbreed and produce healthy kittens, right? So we will put all the cats under one category, that is the species. Okay, so all the cats that are there in the world of different shape, size and color will come under one species. Why? Because they can interbreed among themselves. It's the same case for the human beings. Like the human beings which are of different colors, some are white, some are black, of different races, but can they interbreed or reproduce among themselves to produce healthy babies? Yes, they can. So they will be considered as same species, right? The next is genus. So the lowest category is species. After that is genus. Now when I'm talking about genus, let us take two examples. One, that is the hill crow or the jungle crow, right? And another one that you see around you, that is the plain crow. The one that you find in the plains, that you find in the plains, which is called the house crow. Right? Now the hill crow and the house crow, from a distance you can make them out that they are crow. But they are slightly different in features. If you see that for the hill crow, they are usually pitch black, they are bigger in size, and also the most curious thing is, can they interbreed among themselves? No, they cannot interbreed among themselves. Okay, so therefore they are separate species, but they are coming under the same genus. Okay. Now if I take a donkey and a horse, can they interbreed among themselves? No. Even if they can, okay, the next generation that is created is sterile. That means the mule, we usually call it a mule, the mule that is reproduced, the mule itself is sterile or infertile. That means it itself cannot reproduce. Okay. Now, from this comes the next one. The bigger form of classification is family. Have you ever heard of cat family? Now, when I am talking about a cat family, it will consist of lion, tiger, and even the cats. Okay, so they are vastly different, but still they come under one family. Why? Because they have certain similar characteristics. Okay, so the next broad group of classification will be the family. So first species, then many species, genus, then many genera together, family of common characters. Then many family of common characters will be order. Okay, the next one is order. Like for example, we can say carnivorous or carnivora. Okay, so they are of the same order. So here you can take the cat family, the dog family, all together will come under the same order. Why? Because they have certain similar characteristics, and that is they are all carnivores. They are all flesh-eating animals. The next order, many orders together will form the class. Like for example, I can take carnivorous, herbivorous animals like cows and goats, then omnivorous like humans, but they all will come under the same class because they are all mammals, right? So mammals are those which can produce young ones, or that means give birth to young ones and feed their baby with milk, or have hair on their body. So all many orders with the same kind of characters will be one class. Okay, and then many classes again of similar characters will be the phylum. Like for the birds, then there are the amphibious, frogs, then the fishes, reptiles, mammals will all come under the phylum vertebrates. That means which is having a spinal cord or the backbone. Okay, phylum. So this is the various classification that we do in order to learn about the individual organisms. And phylum, many phylum together will come under the, or it's like vertebrates or non-vertebrates. These are the two basic phylum or phyla, that is the plural, and they will come under kingdom. So kingdom is the broadest form of classification. Okay, so there is the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. Right, now this animal kingdom and plant kingdom, it is very easy to say that either some organisms are plants or some organisms are animals.